scoot just a couple inches over just to get rid of that glary bit up there. It's just not going to happen. So that's okay. We'll throw some color on there real quick. Let's see. I'm so sorry, guys. I hate moving the camera around and doing all that stuff, but it's hard to see until we turn them on. There we go. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, you guys got to tell me where you're watching from. What's your favorite sandwich? Welcome to Monday Morning Mayhem, your break from your mundane Monday morning job, right? You got to get up here, come up, show us how to paint something, Josh. All right, I'll do it. I'll do it for you. There's nobody else to show you, so I'll do it. But first things first, you guys got to let me know. Oh, that's the wrong color. That's the wrong color, my friends, my painting pals. That would not go good if we put that one on the canvas first. Ooh. So, let me know where you're watching from, guys. What's your favorite sandwich? Just how many times have you watched a Paint with Josh show? And are you following me on Facebook? Get your butts over there, because my Facebook page got hacked, and I lost all my 735,000 followers. So I'm building a brand new Facebook page from scratch, and I need your guys' help to do that, right? So, let's come over here. We're going to get our crimson out. Don't ask why I'm not ready before the show starts. I mean, that would only make sense. You know, get all your paints out, get everything ready to go, Josh, before the show. You've only had like 2 hours to prep this morning, and it seems that I do everything else except for get ready, so I can do it right here in front of you guys. Now, we need one more little bit of yellow, and that might be just enough paints in order to do a cool little scene today for you guys. My painting pals. I love all you guys. The painting pals, the super squad. Everybody. Very cool. Now, whoop! Got dropped a brush. Clean that. Yep. I'm not losing my mind. Not yet. Not this morning. So, how's it going, guys? Welcome to the show. Make sure you give me a thumbs up if you're watching over on YouTube. Tap the screen 1,000,000 times if you're watching over on TikTok. And then if you're watching over on Facebook, pull up along the bottom. Tap on the little emojis. Comment, share. The more people we can get in here, the more people are going to have fun with us, right? So, I've already taken my 18 by 24 inch black canvas. We covered it all with our Bob Ross liquid clear, and then we took a paper towel and we wiped it all off, right? The majority of it anyway. You'll never be able to get it all the way off. So we wiped the majority of it off, and now we're going to come in and do like just a weird, just a galactic sort of sky. All these trippy, crazy colors. We'll put a far-off mountain in the background, this big old branchy tree in the front. It's going to be really cool. So stick around if you want to see something neat. Let's come over here. Now, the only reason that we're putting all these colors onto our canvas and then stretching them out is so that when we get with our liquid white, or excuse me, when we hit it with our titanium white, then it's going to interact and brighten up and have all these crazy bits, right? Let's go into a little bit of our Meaden Crimson. That first color right there is Indian Yellow from the Bob Ross set. Meaden Crimson comes next. I love this Meaden Crimson color. Boy, oh boy, you can't beat it. It's like the bestest, prettiest of all the colors. Look what it does when you mix it with the yellow. It's just so gorgeous. Just gorgeous, right? All we're doing, throwing a little bit of paint everywhere. Doesn't have to look like mine. I say that all the time. Don't have to make it look like mine. Just put some paint out there, and we're going to have some fun. Let's go in from that Meaden Crimson into the Bob Ross Crimson, right? Which is a little bit thicker, darker color. And come out here, blend it around the side just to give it a bit more space, have it change a little thing. Right over here, maybe just a touch, just to fix around that yellow. Ooh, I like it. You know what? Let's go into our blue as well, right on top of the brush. This is the Prussian blue. It's very deep and dark, right? So it will stay looking very black on the canvas when we put it on there. Very transparent color. You can barely even tell. Now watch this. We're going to take some of that blue, bang, right into the yellow. Actually, look at this. Boom! That's going to be cool looking. We're going to have all this green, all these little different things. Put some of our blue out here and some of our dioxazine purple from the Gamblin 1980 set. And just blend them onto the canvas. That's all we got to do. Have a little bit of color everywhere. Right? That's all we need. All you have to do, put a little bit of color everywhere. Now, let's take and sort of, should have done it beforehand, but we can match this again, right? We'll go into our Indian Yellow, put some of that down in here. Take some of our crimson, some of our other crimson, work this guy around the edge. Just a little touch, nothing crazy. Right, over here, over there. It doesn't have to be super bright. We actually want it to stay very dark, and then we'll brighten it up with our white. And then what do? We came back with the blue. It came from the outside with the blue, and then we did some crazy, like, swoop, little swirl in there. It kind of looks cool. Oh, I think I actually did it right for once. That's crazy. All right, now we'll come in here with our purple, finish that off along the bottom section, and now we know that our canvas is totally covered in some form of color across the entire canvas, right? And once we know that, and as long as we know that, we're not going to take any white and go across a bare blank section of canvas that has no color, because it's going to be super bright white if you do that. So let's get in here, let's mix this guy up, and we'll see what kind of crazy galactic sky is going to pop out with all these colors, right? That's what it's about. Like every time you could do the same thing, you'll never match it exactly the same again. I can't do it. I've been painting for 5 years. Almost 1,200 paintings. This is 1,199, right? So, don't stress about making it perfect. Don't stress about getting it the same. That's the best part about painting is every time we do it, it's going to be a little bit different. Always going to be a little bit different, a little bit more beautiful the next time, right? Wash that one guy off. We got one more brush. So, tell me where you're watching from, guys. What's your favorite paintbrush? You thought I was going to say sandwich, didn't you? It's okay. You thought I was going to say sandwich. It's okay. What's your favorite paintbrush? You can't even hear over the sound of that beater bucket. It's so loud. So, what's your favorite paintbrush, guys? Is it going to be the new Paint with Josh brushes that are coming out? Hey-o! Because that's going to be my new paintbrush of choice. The Paint with Josh brushes. They're on the way, guys. They're being made right now. The contracts have already been signed. Paint with Josh brushes are going to be a thing. Okay, let's get our fan brush, because whatever reason, Josh loves to use a fan brush to make his crazy cloud bits, right? And the only reason is that we can take it and push it against the canvas and mush it and bend it and spin it and do all this crazy stuff to make our weird little shapes. That's all you gotta do. Just make a weird little shape. So let me know where you're watching from, guys. I'm gonna come back here and read some comments real quick. Snort some more Red Bull. Let's do this. Woo! Thank you, McLovin. Ooh, the script liner brush. That's a fun brush. I agree. And that is a fun old brush if you want to mess about. This one's going to be cool. Omaha. We got Virginia. Oh, the favorite line. Everyone's favorite is the liner brush. I don't know why. Is it because it makes all the crazy, sharp little sticky details and stuff, right? Woo! Let's do this, baby. All right. What do I do with my brush? Hello. It's over here. All right. Let's go over here. And we're going to have an awesome time. My guys and gals and painting pals. Get a little bit of our white, right? Come in here, grab a little of that cad yellow that we put onto our thing as well. All right, so just in case you're just catching up, let me tell you what we've done. We took our canvas, we covered it in Bob Ross liquid clear. Then we put all these colors over it everywhere so we could make a weird thing, right? We started with Indian yellow, and then our crimson from the Meaden set, then our Bob Ross crimson, then our blue, then our purple, and then redid everything underneath to kind of match, right? So, we're going to get a little of our cadmium yellow, which is a color we haven't pulled out yet, a little cad yellow, a little of our white, onto the brush, a little pile down here, because you don't need too much. What this does is removes all the excess paint from the brush, so you don't have those big globs. See all that excess paint right there? If you have and you mush it off, especially on a black canvas, it's going to be so bright when we come in here. Just a little crazy center of some super brightness, right? Now we're going to come back with our 1-inch brush, and we start to make little counterclockwise circles with very light pressure, because we don't want that color necessarily to spread too far, right? Now, oh my goodness, you guys, watch this. A little bit more of that white, little touch more of the yellow, then back into our pile so we can get the majority of it back off of the brush. Okay, so let's say we came out this way. We started rocking and rolling around the red side. Paboosh! Just make all this craziness. Bang! Right? It's going to be this awesome little, just a wicked little thing. Never done one like that before, but when you see something, you have to go for it, right? So, come in here with our white, not our white, just our regular 1-inch brush, and we start to mix this cloud down. The more we push on it, right, in either direction, you don't have to just push it away, right? But the more we push on it, the more it's going to blend in with all those colors that are underneath. So when we came up into that bluey, kind of greeny, with our yellow, lots of stuff will start to mix and happen depending on where your undercolors are, right? So Gotta make sure you have some form of color underneath there so it will change and become this crazy, beautiful thing, right? We get to decide what it looks like, guys. Nobody else gets to come in and tell us, hey, it should look like this, it shouldn't look like that, blah, blah, blah. Now, let's see if we can recreate this, right? It has to be almost like flipped to go the other way. Oh, goodness, Josh, we gotta wash this brush off. Look what happened to that poor brush. It got all of those different colors all onto the brush at the same time. Every different color on there. Poor little thing. Now we're gonna wash it off, get some new paint on it. And just put it through the mill again. Just put it through the ringer, they say. Just like that. That's the most fun about the whole thing, cleaning the brush. Now let me tell you guys, I made an upgrade to my bucket, right? That way it doesn't stink so dang bad, and you don't get those aerosol bits, right? We all know it happens when you clean the brush, little floaty bits start coming up. If you get yourself a bucket with a lid, you clean the brush, and before all this stuff starts coming up, you pop the lid back on, keep it all contained into the bucket, okay? None of us want to be getting like lymphoma and stuff. So keep yourself safe. Don't just have this stuff flying up and around and then breathe it all in. Just, it's going to be bad for you, right? So what I do is I take my lid off. Okay, I'm going to beat the devil out of the brush. And then I'll put my lid back on. But just to show you guys, I've got a little bag with a golf ball basket down in the bottom, right? And what that does is give me a bunch of surfaces to beat the devil out of the brush on and keep it all contained inside the bag so I can take the golf ball basket out, throw the bag away, and replace it, right? Now, you always want to dab it off on a paper towel afterwards because it will be very wet still. So you dab it off on a paper towel, and that way you don't get too much wetness onto our canvas again, right? Now, let's go back and load up that paint, load up that brush with a little bit more paint, and we're going to have a load of fun, you guys. Just a load of fun. I love how this sky is turning out already. Ooh, I love this, she says. Thank you, Scientific Muse. Is there turpentine in there? So the odorless mineral spirits that we use to clean the brushes is like a paint thinner turpentine type solution, right? It's definitely not just water. I've had people ask that before though. Is that water? No, oil and water don't mix. It's not going to clean your brush if you're just using water. All right, let's come up here and brighten these guys out a little bit. Bang, a little bit more color. A bit pop out over here, just dumping on more paint onto the canvas, right? And eventually, it looks like a little dude doing a handstand or something. Eventually you're going to run out of color, so you don't have to do the thing all at once, right? Take our fresh, clean brush, doesn't have any other colors on it. You can start to pull out and blend on all this color as it stretches toward the side. Remember, all we need is a bit of brightness behind our crazy branchy tree that we plan on dropping in. So don't worry about what it looks like. Even if you overdo it or overblend it, right? All we need is a little bit of color out there. Whip around, it'll be very cool. Now, wipe off our brush, back in here to our white, back over here to the yellowy color. Let's come down, because these guys are a little closer, a little in front. Let's see them spread a little bit further. Pop out over here. Remember, we're going to have a big old mountain on this side, so it doesn't necessarily matter what happens over there. Right, wipe off our brush. I always start in the lighter section first, and then work my way into those darker colors. You don't want to take your dark color and work it into your brights. That's the wrong way around. Okay, come down, bring it over here, just mixing it and mixing it and mixing it, however you want it to look, right? We get to decide how far it comes down, how much pressure you're pushing on it. We'll drag all that color down, right? Very cool looking, guys. And then if you don't push on it too hard, you'll leave it nice and bright where you want to leave it nice and bright. Dudes, let's redo this now down below. If we can make this happen, that's going to be really cool. Like I said, we should have been doing it prior, but it's Paint with Josh, and we never do stuff in the right order. It's fine. I always said, like, people tell me I'm the best teacher ever. Like, I don't know why. I mean, because I tell you you can do whatever you want. Everybody likes that kind of teacher, I guess, right? But yeah, I'm the sub that comes in, just puts a movie on for everybody. You guys just do what you want. I'm going to sit over here and edit my videos, and you guys do what you want. All right, now look, if we came just... How are we going to do that? You guys have to help me because my brain isn't all there today, okay? So, if we're going to recreate this, but upside down, do we have to go to the right and go around? Right? Since this one went to the left, if we were going to do it upside down, it would have to go to the right, right? We'd have to start in the middle and go out to the right. You guys gotta let me, I'm serious. This is a serious question. This is a serious question here, guys. You gotta let me know. Are we gonna go from, does it go right, Nikki? Nikki says right. I don't know. Carlos says right. Thank you, Alma Drain. I appreciate it. I actually, do you still have the golf ball part? I do have all the balls, actually. They're right over here. I actually, because I went and bought a new golf ball basket, and this one came filled with like little practice golf balls, like little foam ones that you can hit in the house and stuff. So I do actually have the golf balls. Thank you very much. I got them. Go left, they say. See, some people are saying go left and some people are saying go right. So if I went like this, right, and I came around first and then started going out to the right, you know what I mean? Like around out this way. So we would have to go left initially, but, right? No, because that's the same thing we did here. Hang on. You know what we're going to do? You know what makes this a lot easier? This. Whoop! Flip this sucker around like that, okay? Boom, boom, boom. Right down like there. Bang. So much easier to do now. Now, all we have to do, is it easier to do? I forget now. What are we supposed to go the other way? You guys have to tell me. You guys got to tell me what to do. I'm telling you. All right. Let's see. We had our one. And we came out and around the first time, right? So we should technically go out and around this way, right? No. Guys, I need help. You got to help me out here. You guys got to help me out. I need your answers. Guardian says go right. You guys are saying yes, but that doesn't help because I asked you 2 questions. I go, should I go right or should I go left? And you go, yes. Yes to the right? Are we like this way first, right? Making clockwise circles? Or do we go counterclockwise? That's a better question. Clockwise or counterclockwise? Right? We're not going to get this bottom cloud because there's not enough space. We're only really worried about this thing right here, which means we should be able to paint it the exact same way, right? And flip it upside down. Or am I just, I'm losing it this morning. I've lost my mind. All right, you guys saying clockwise, and then some people are saying counterclockwise. See? You guys are no help. You guys are no help. It's all right. In any case, it'll all be watery reflection, so we'll be good. Come in here with our white and that bit of yellow like we always had. And we'll start in here. If we're going to go clockwise, then let's pop in our little guy first, right? And then we would have gone out and around and down, popping it around, out over there, maybe coming out around here. Just popping in these little colors just every which way, right? Does that look right? Or did you guys mess me up? It's okay. Now I'm going to flip it back over so we can... That's about right. That's about right, I think. Roughly. It's all good. If it isn't, it's all going to be a watery reflection anyway, so don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm going to come over here, grab up a different brush, because that one's got all that color on it. I don't want to clean it yet, right? So let's mix it down. As we go out, start grabbing up all the other colors that are in there, whipping them around, coming up and connecting with our other little color over here. I want to have them connect too much, so leave a little bit of space in between. Out like this and around. Other way. We're going to come over here, we're going to grab all this color and literally push it and blend it real hard, just like we do with our sand when we do a seascape. Real hard, right? Push it out like that. Go over there, blend it down, 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 blend it down. Now we're going to come across. So you just have those watery reflections of our thing. Kind of fuzzy, right? A little bit just like water, if you ask me. Now, let's come back in here, and this is going to be where the fun part comes in. We're going to mix up some paint with Josh Plaque. Do you guys know some paint with Josh Plaque? Do you guys know how to make paint with Josh Plaque? What are the 3 colors needed in order to make paint with Josh Plaque? And you got to type them into the comments below. We're going to mix them up right here into this deepest, darkest of all colors in existence. Paint with Josh Plaque. The color's so deep and dark that it even stands out in space as being deep and dark. All right? Now, let's come over here. Mix up those colors. You guys got to tell me what they are. And remember, get your butts over to glitterwix.com. Yeah, you guys totally lied to me. It's the other way round. It's the other way round, and you guys fib me around. Let's see. Man, that's looking cool, right? So we mix up our blue, black, and crimson. You guys all know what they are. And let's come over here. We don't need to make the most enormousest of all mountains in existence, but let's chuck a good-sized mountain right over here, right? Just by taking the paint and smushing it on real hard. And that way all that dark color can stand out, covers up all the light behind it, right? Then you can be real rough with it, pull it out this way, covering up all those little bits. But remember, any piece of light, any piece of paint that you leave on here, watch, I'm going to show you. Look at how much, let me put it right next to it. Boom, look at how much paint I just scraped up just from that one little spot, right? Come back here, I'll show you how much more we can take off, because you don't need every bit of it on the canvas. That's what makes your mountain grow too much. Watch, there's another big old plot, right? Both those things would make our mountain grow further than we want. So, remember, put it on, take it off, save it for later. Put it back over here, we're gonna use it. Now, let's go grab our 1-inch brush. Either one of these, I guess the dark colored one would work fine. And with our pressure, we get to decide, we come in here and we pull off with our mountain, right? What way the mountain's gonna go. How far it's gonna roll, how far it's gonna slide. Maybe we got a little ridge that comes down off of this side. Just by pulling in a different direction, right? Coming down here with the whole brush, smushing it, so it's like a good inch or two, right? Well, not two, but about 1.5 inches maybe. And then when we pull on the other side, I'm not going all the way to the edge of the mountain and then coming down. We're going about halfway and then pulling down this way, right? Maybe this guy, he fell down that side too, but this guy came down and boom, cut through everybody, right? Just however you want. You get to decide. Pull it off this way. Maybe this guy slides down through the next little thing. Down here, down there. Starts almost using a little pivot point when we come down to where we know our water's going to be. We come down to the same spot, same spot, same spot, same spot, same spot, until our mountain flattens its way out to be on the far side of our water back there, right? Now, take this guy at the top and pull him out with a lot of pressure. But not going all the way over here where we've taken those ones and gone down, just off the back side of where those guys would live. And now you got this faraway mountain at the edge of our little deal back there, right? I would put the mountain reflection in, but we're gonna add, see, that's where you get caught up too, because you're like, ooh, this looks cool, let's add the mountain reflection. And then you go to add your trees and all that stuff, and then you end up covering your mountain's reflection. So, don't worry about it, okay? Even though it would look awesome, you can do it in yours, no worries, right? You don't have to do the painting exactly how we do it on screen every time. We'll just give you cool little ideas to show you how to do stuff, right? Now, let's come back in here, grab up some white paint, and a little touch of, let's get that little, actually let's get our phthalo blue if we can, just a little squeeb of it onto the thing. And it's going to be a whole lot of fun. What are we up to over here, guys, on TikTok? The painting still for sale, or has anybody grabbed it up, is my question. Thank you, Casey. I appreciate it. It's literally my job to make it look easy for you. So you can come follow me over on Facebook or check out my YouTube videos and follow along with the paintings and learn how to do it yourself, right? Literally. Let me just mix it up with that yellow patch too. Why not? Why not? Right there. Little blue, little of our yellow patch. It's going to be like this kind of, almost like a tealy, greeny kind of a shadow. Very cool, guys. Never have to all be the same, right? This little of that, little of our dark mix, actually probably a little more, and it'll sort of dull it down to this grayish, tealy, yellowy, weird little color that we made, right? Very, very cool, my friends and painting pals. Has the painting sold yet? Anybody? I don't see. Thank you, young, was that young Balenciaga? Luckily, I could read that. I'm not very good at reading, so. I was like, I think I've seen that word before somewhere. It's like, that guy's popping a little bit of weirdness. Doesn't all have to be the same. Doesn't all have to be crazy. And let's come in and grab up double the amount of our white paint and just a little squeeb with a little teeny tiny touch of that green that we made down here, the bluish teal color, whatever it is. All right, we're going to mix it up into our snow, quote unquote. So we'll have our bright snow and then our shadowy snow. Okay? That's why you don't want to have it just be pure white way off in the distance, because we're going to need those pure whites when we come up to our foreground, right? Keep the stuff that's off in the distance a little bit more faded, right? So we'll come in here, we'll grab up the shadows first, and let's say all that light, even though it's not a lot, but let's say it's casting down the backside of our mountain down here. With these little things, just by letting it grip, right? Holding it very lightly, very straight to the canvas, touching it, and then just letting it flow off. Not trying to bend it, not trying to do anything. Just, I almost, oh look, there's paint on my fingertips right now, right? Because we're holding it so close that when you drag down, quickly, by the way, don't try to do it slow. Do it quickly, and it works a lot easier, right? Little flicks, and come down here, little flick, 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 boom, boom, boom. Get a little shadow action in there. You can go as far as you want, and then come down and cut in front of it with your light color. Doesn't all have to be the same every time. I must say that 1,000 times a stream. Little things, little ridges, little stuff. Maybe that guy comes up a little higher. Change the angle a little bit, right? Now we'll come back and grab that snowy white paint that we know is not really white because we mixed it in with all of those other colors, okay? And we'll come over here, maybe off of this guy, let it roll down. Now it's very thick up on the top because it's kind of like fresh off of your knife. So use that to your advantage. And just let it keep dragging until you have no more paint on your brush. Okay? Once you have no more paint on the brush, and you're going to be set. Or knife anyway, paint on the knife. There we go. Whip it down. Now you don't have to connect every piece, and you want to leave a little piece of our bluey bit, and if you can, a little touch of that very deep dark shadow as well, in between each of our little slides and little things. Now watch, we can change the angle of this guy, whoop, just by coming out, going more horizontal, having him flow down, changing what the mountain looks like. You don't just have to put your shadows in and then be like, oh no, now what am I going to do? Go over them with your highlights. That's why we do the shadows first. And that way you can make your mistakes and have it come out fantastically, you guys. That's a very sharp, steep little mountain up here. All right, whipping it down, jiggling it, boom, get all these little crazy bits. That way it's not a straight line. I almost dropped my knife. Come back up in here, connect, and just whip it down fast, right? It looks like a cave right there, you guys. That's kind of cool. Off the side, let's start changing directions so we can get flatter and flatter and flatter. And now you've changed your mountain all of a sudden. Just by making one little swipe to the side, boom! Now we've changed the direction of all this flowing snow down here. We get to pick, guys. We get to decide what it looks like. No one else is to come in and go, excuse me, it should. If someone says it should, pop, slap right in the mouth. Right in the lips. Pooh! Shush! Shush your face. No shoulds. You should shut your face, right? Because should is not allowed in my painting world anyway, okay? If we should have done it that way, then we would have done it that way. So, you should. Shh. When you say that, just go say that. Like Paint with Josh says, shh, your mouth, right there, okay? Come in here with our 2-inch brush. Doesn't really have much paint on it. I think it's just got like, yeah, it doesn't have any paint on it at all. So we're going to come in here and very lightly start to swipe. And look what happens instantly. As soon as you come in contact with the white and then come back here and touch. Oh no, brush marks. Oh no, geez, guys. Oh geez. It's okay. Don't worry about it because we're going to come back in and mess it all up anyway, right? So anything below you can fix. Anything above, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but you can still do it, right? Very light little pressure, and I'll show you. There's no paint on this brush. Look at the little teeny tiny 3 hairs and some air. I mean, there might be like 10 hairs right there, but seriously, the lightest touch you can possibly go, and you have to go with your mountain, right? So we came down pretty straight with this guy. So we go up pretty straight. If you go down and then hit, you have to go up and then up, right? Here, there. Now we came very straight down here, so we almost have to go very straight up, but just so light, guys. You touch it too hard and it's going to really mess it up. We're not trying to drag it, right? We're just trying to soften it just a little bit. Look at that. Again, went over the whole mountain, maybe 15 hairs and some air across that whole brush, right? Don't need a whole lot. Now, we're going to go from that very light touch to just an extreme. Like Will Smith on Chris Rock. Like, bow! Just hard right down in here. We're going to start to hit it and push it outwards, just like a little typewriter, just using the corner of the brush. This whole bit is untouched, right? We're not using the back, right down here. Boom, 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 boom. We start tapping it in, bringing it down to the water. Right? Doesn't have to go too crazy high up. Over here, over there. Now, that was all of our snow going down that way, right? But what about this little ridge? It's going down the other way. We can't just continue along doing the same thing. We have to rotate, right? From this side, we're going to go whoop around to this side, and then come in and start tapping. Now we're going to go above each time. Right? So a little tap, going above, 3-4 taps, going above, 3-4 taps. Not trying to get rid of all the detail of all the snow, just trying to mix it up a little bit. Misty, misty, mistiness. All right, tappy, 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 tappiness. All over the place. Come in here very lightly with the last time. This is where we make our transition, where our snow meets our fog, right? And then what do you do with all those little brush marks along the bottom that you just made? Just wipe them away. They literally will blend away. Now we got this foggy mix, and a little bit of reflection still saved in our water because we didn't go over it too many times. And you get this little mountain. It's still on the edge. Look at that. Dude, we could put, oh my God, we could do this. Watch this. A little bit of white, right? To me, it looks like maybe way the heck out there, if we just touch it and go zip, you can imagine some water line way off in the distance back there, right? Doesn't all have to be the same, but right underneath the brightness, and you can go over it as many times as you want to make it softer, right? Right underneath the brightness of that snow, you leave a little dark separator where it gets real dark, and then maybe we come in here and right off the tip, bang, 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 right off the tip of the mountain, baby. Coming in, scraping at it, leaving little bits, right? There's a little cove out there, obviously, but it's so foggy we can't see it. So foggy. Now watch, if you came along the same line, right? Yeah, kind of lazy. Let's go up a little bit, back and up, and change it. Boom, right? Now you got all these little different levels from our water to our water to our water up here, right? Making our mountains seem more 3D, just like that, okay? Now, I'm going to take my 1-inch brush, because it's a small little area, and to make them look even further away, you can make them soft. Soft, 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 soft. We're not going to see every crashing wave against a faraway mountain, right? So, make them soft, little things, way out there, right? I love it. I already love it. Now, let's come in, and do we have enough paint with Josh Black? We might, actually. We might have enough paint with Josh Black, guys. It's a possibility, but very first thing, let's come back up here. I'm going to brighten up this area. A little bit of white. Dab off my brush so it's nice and clean. And then explosion! Plooge! Right, and now that it looks like that, now it seems like there'd be like a little gamma ray burst just shooting out. And then maybe back in the back of space and time. Way back there, right? Don't want to put it in front of all your clouds though. One has, and they can't connect, right? There's almost the whole length of the knife where they're not touching because it's behind that cloud. Holy shaving cream, you guys. That's a sweet one, if you ask me. That one is, I mean, you could literally leave it like this too. I've seen many, many, many tutorials done just like this. A little bit of reflection. You can even brighten it up down here, right, where we had our brightness. Right here. Right? Sort of-ish. Okay, so we'll brighten up this spot. Out here, out there, over and around. Boom, 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 boom. Very cool. Very, very cool. So this guy, blend it, right? And then, really push hard on him. Get that reflection just where we want it to be, guys. That's fantastic right there. A little bit more pressure will drag some of that color across our water, right? I like to leave a few little deep dark areas though. That's very, very cool. It's like a, oh, I love it. So soft, so sharp. Okay, now let's come up and grab a little bit of our liquid white. We'll go throw some stars in the sky. Who loves the stars in the sky? I do, right? So, I know a lot of people have different ways to do this. You've seen it done on a palette knife or something else. I use the side of my palette because I'm always holding it anyway, right? And when I drag the brush through the side of the palette with all this paint that's kind of piled up right on there, it's going to bend my bristles back and then shoot out 1 billion stars all at once. All right, so we'll come up here real close in the center. Boom! Just about 1 billion little stars in our galactic center of our black hole happening out there, right? And then you can very sparsely, because you don't want it to be as bright or as thick all around your galaxy, right? You can very sparsely throw some stars out there in the sky. This guy would have a few, there'd be a few little reflected bits down into our water that we would see. Just little pieces, bang, just like that, right? Very cool. Very, very, very cool. Now we're gonna go through all that with a big monster tree. Because you gotta have a monster tree, you guys. You gotta push it back with a big old bit of darkness. So, what colors are we gonna need to mix up in order to make Paint with Josh Black? You gotta tell me, because I forget. You think I'm so smart. You think I'm so good. But I forget, guys, so you gotta tell me. Let me know, my painting pals. Remember, if you're watching over on Facebook, share this video for me, man. We gotta get those 735,000 followers back. We got to get it back. Thanks for taking the time to explain your techniques. Your painting is incredible. Thank you. I very much appreciate you. Very much appreciate you for that. Remember, you guys can go watch this one over on YouTube and learn how to paint it all by yourself. The BBC says Nakaya. I love that name. Very, like, oh, what's the word? Exotic. Very exotic name. Nakaya. Awesome. So, thank you for being a Super Squad member, by the way. Over there on my YouTube page. Over here, over there. Get some of these brushes all cleaned off. You guys gotta let me know where you're watching from. Just how cold is it out there for you today? Are you cold? There was like it seemed to be like another bout of winter hit Las Vegas anyway. It got really cold for us, which is like 62 degrees. It's like freezing for us over here in Las Vegas because we get so hot all year round. But it was like it was starting to warm up. Felt like it was getting warmer, and then it was like 50. And it was, oh, it's cold. I know. Don't laugh at me. I know it's colder where you are. I know. But when you live your life at 110 degrees, and then it drops to half that, you're like, this is cold. This is cold, baby. All right. Let's come over here. We got all the brush. Oh, everything except for one. All but one brush. The one brush to rule them all. But all of them were deceived, for another brush was made. Deep in the fires of Mount Doom, in the heart of Mordor, Lord Paint with Josh forged in secret a master brush. I've been watching a lot of Lord of the Rings lately. It's a good way to make the time go by throughout the day, if you know what I mean. Okay. Let's mix up a little bit of our Paint with Josh plaque. We can get rid of our little highlight colors because we're not going to need those anymore. I don't think anyway. Man, that's a pretty old mountain out there, right? So we've got a little bit, but let's mix up a bit more of our Paint with Josh plaque. Now, what are the 3 colors that we need to mix in order, in equal amounts, by the way? What do we need to mix up Paint with Josh plaque? The deepest and darkest of all dark colors. And even a tree in the middle of a spacey background will stand out as being in front because it is so dark. All right, with this Paint with Josh plaque. So, you guys let me know. What is it? What are those 3 colors? We're going to pop the most branchiest, craziest tree you've ever seen right here. Almost like growing up out the water. Growing up out of the water. Remember, guys, this one is available for sale. And if you go over to paintwithjosh.etsy.com, you can grab it up and nab it up before anyone else gets a chance at it. They go fast. They tend to go fastly. Man, a little bit of just a little touch of detail. Okay, now let's come in. Let's grab just a bit of this blackish color. Right, no, just a whole ton of it. Not the whole pile, but just a whole ton of that big old pile. And let's say, whoop, I gotta put a branch right through the sucker right there. So let's just come up here, right down here. Boom, push a little bit harder. Bang! Gonna pop in just a big old branchy tree right there. Gonna be fantastic. Then we're gonna throw off so many little things and branches and little bits. I gotta put one right through all this, but watch, all that white paint is going to, like, I need my branch to come around the side of the moon, at least one of them, maybe come from this side and end up down here in this fat trunk of a tree. But all this white from that snow is going to turn my plaque color white, or like very bright gray, because it's mixing with the white color. That's not what we want. So let's decide where we want to have our branch come down, right? See, it was coming down this way. Just, and then right when we get to our mountain, boom, I'm going to stop and then pick it up right down underneath. Right there, right? So now I'm going to go back in, scrape off this little chunk of our white right in there, and that way we can crisscross over this guy again and get a little fatter. Boom, boom, boom. Bang! Just like that. Now the paint stays dark. We scraped off a little touch of our mountain off in the distance, and then we can go back on and add different things. It'll be very cool. Very cool. Pop this guy down in here like that, and then we can literally start bringing in land, or having him grow right up out the water. Like, seriously. You can have it grow right out of the water if you wanted to. In that case, don't do what I did, right? I'm going to add a little bit of land right down here in the front. As we skim across, we have this cool little thing happening down here. All right, we can put some snow on it. There's all sorts of stuff. Like a little, just on the other side of the bank, real dark. Ooh, I like it. Okay, now, let's wash off that fan brush because we don't need it anymore. And what we're going to do with the remainder of our Paint with Josh plaque color, which is that 3-color mix that we all know and love, right? We're going to take that guy and make it super wet, right? Now, how are we going to make it super wet and runny? How would you take this very thick paint? It's very thick. It's like icing. Look. It's not going to come off the palette, right? It's almost like suction cupped onto there. So how are you going to take that super thick paint and turn it into something wet and runny? How are you going to do that? You guys let me know, because I forget. What's that ingredient that we need to add to the paint to make it super wet? Because it's super thick right now. Super thick. Catch that was like, that should have been on Sports Center. I almost dropped my brush. It was like whoop whoop, and I caught it like that. It was crazy. Should have been on a replay on Sports Center for sure. Like in the painting world, Josh almost dropped his brush, but whoop, caught. Oh wow, I just did it again. Caught it just like that. And then he did it live on camera too. What an amazing painter this guy is. And what a clown. I know, I'm weird. I'm weird, but that's why you guys love me. You love me because I'm weird. All right, let me come check your comments. What do we need to add to the paint in order to make it super wet? Let's see. I'll buy it if you add fireflies in the water. I'm down. I mean, there already looks like some fireflies out here, but we can add some yellow fireflies and stuff for sure. You don't have to ask prior, Scientific Muse. You know the deal. So they are. Dana says lamp black, which is, I mean, partly right. Max, like it's in my cart too. And then we got Marcy over here that says liquid clear or mineral spirits. Also correct, right? I would go with the mineral spirits though, just because it makes it watery like water, right? Runny like water versus the liquid clear will thin it down, but it's still going to be sort of thick like the liquid clear itself, right? But if you get your odorless mineral spirits, or cleaner, your paint thinner, your brush cleaner, your baby oil, or whatever you use, right? Over here, I'm going to dab it into the very thickest part, and if I tilt it up, it will start to run down onto my hand, right? So we're going to load up this Paint with Bram liner brush. A Paint with Bram brush. You know the only person in history that's going to have a longer brush than Paint with Bram's brush? This guy right here. Okay, let's come over here. We're going to take this brush and start to extend our branches. Whoop! Up here, across there. Little bits that we can streak out. Put over here. Toss off to the side. Little suckers. Long suckers. Just make sure your paintbrush is wet. Watch this. Bow! Straight through the galaxy. Here and there and everywhere. We can come around the side. Whoop! Come up and over there. Right? Just crisscrossing through all that darkness. That color, excuse me. Crisscrossing through the color. because that's why we put it up there, right? I told you in the beginning, didn't need to be the most perfectest galactic sky you've ever seen, because all we're doing is using it as a backdrop for all this dark, branchy bit, right? The branchy bit. As we come out over here, up and around, crisscrossing our branches, tossing off little branches off of those little branches, littler branches off of those little branches, and branches everywhere, just all over. And you crisscross right through the center of the black hole. Holy moly, how's that branch going to survive? It just went right through the center of a black hole, guys. Holy heck, that's fantastic. Now, we are running low on the odorless mineral spirits. When it starts to get thick, right, it's not going to come off of our brush as easily as it normally would. You almost have to turn the brush as you're rotating it to have it come off differently, right? So make sure you got it nice and thick and chunky. Bounce your hand in, come off of those little nubs. Boom, boom, boom. Little branches here, there, everywhere. As it stands out. Now we need to go back and get some more odorless mineral spirits because it's got to be super wet. If you want it to come off the brush, guys, it's got to be just as wet as the swimming pool. Just really wet. All right, come over here, over there, streaking through. Boom. Look at how the color picked up all that bright white and then drug it up through the branch. So the branch is almost highlit all on its own. Come off of this side here. There's a big old monster of a tree. Then a branch over here, and we'll throw another one off of that guy. Maybe you've got a little guy coming down off the front side over here. You just never want to make them just like straight, you know what I mean? I like putting a little bend, a little something to it. Drag it across. Remember, if you don't have enough odorless mineral spirits in your brush, it's not going to drag across your mountains or anything thick, really. A couple little bits here, there, popping them everywhere. Holy shaving cream, you guys. This one is crazy branchies. Just love me old crazy branchies. Let it get real skinny up top. A couple little very thin little pieces up here. Going off in different directions. Man. Right through the center, crisscrossing. X marks the spot to the galaxy. Right there. Guys, so cool. You can add branches for 1,000,000 years off of these guys if you wanted to, right? We're not going to. But you could if you wanted to. A couple little branches that stick off the front. It's the front, the side, they're everywhere to come poke me in the shoulder as I walk by. This guy, every time. You know, it's like, it's always a branch. It's like this long. You don't even expect it. And you're like, oh, just got me. They're always like shoulder height. I hate those branches. They're out to get me. They're out to get me, you guys. So, let's see. What are we going to do? We're going to highlight this guy. Yes. We'll come over here, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Let's see. I have a buying Josh's paintings problem. Did you get this one, Scientific News? It's sold, says Airy Fairy Faye. So now we just need the buyer to come forth. Come forth and reveal yourself. Ye old Viking of olden times. Let's see. A little bit of our titanium white, a little bit of our liquid white, because you want the liquid white to thin it down a little bit, just enough for it to come off. Little teeny tiny bits. And then we'll come over here. We're going to match it up with the side of our tree. Right? And just touch it and roll. Touch and 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 touch. That's all you got to do. Little touches is it. Come back in right next to it. Leave a little bit of space. Right? Little things. They don't all have to be the same amount of brightness or whatever. In here, in there, and a little darker as they go down. But remember to leave a shadowy side of the tree. Not every piece of the branch has to be highlit in white, right? So little touches here, little bits there. Come off of your branches with just the smallest little touch. I'm serious. If you touch too hard, you're not going to like it. I'm serious. As a heart attack, you don't want to go in there and touch it too hard. Little light little things. And then maybe our light is going to come off the inside of this tree. Right? Because we got all that thing shining down right through here. So we'll tap, leaving the darkness on the outside of the tree now, right? on either side. So we'll just have this bit of light color down in here, tapping them together. Things love to grow together, right? All these little bits. And then if it ever gets too dark, guess what? We come back in with a bit of our darkness and tap in little bits and little holes and little places where it got too bright. Right? Bang, just like that. Fabulous, you guys. Awesome. Here, there, just a little dark, just to help the tree be as thick as it is on the highlight side on your shadowy side. Right? Now, come up here. Touching just the smallest little bits, guys. Little, teeny, tiny things just on the edge of our branches. Hey, just like that, right? You don't have to light up every piece of every branch. And right here where it's real bright, I don't want to put any highlight on that because I want that to stay real bright and against that dark branch, right? That makes it look really cool. If it's too bright along the brightness of the branch, then you're not going to be able to tell that there's a bit of branch going through all that bright white stars and stuff, right? Come off of that guy, over here. Over there was fantastic. My friends and painting pals, I love you. I love you all. Look at that. Oh, man. You guys, just the littlest things you can come out here with, right? Just tapping onto our bit of branches. All right, now look. That, we had a bit too much paint on the front and no paint along the back of the knife. That's a bad job, Josh. It's okay, watch this. Come in and literally scrape it away. Go back in. You can make another branch right here. Right off the tip top. Now it's got just enough highlight on it to be a little branchy poo, right? Never have to stress. Don't have to worry about it. You put on too much. It's okay. You can always go back and change it if you don't like certain things. You get to decide what it looks like. I don't know how many times I gotta say that during a show. You guys get to decide, not me. Mine looks like this. Yours doesn't have to look like this, right? It could look totally different. You could have totally different colors, different branch placement. You could not even have a big tree. You just could have done the mountain and did the water, and that was it, right? Which is totally cool. It's gonna look awesome. Send it to me. I want to see it. If you did, if you followed along with the tutorial, you gotta send it over to Paint with Josh because I gotta see it. So send it to facebook.com/paintwithjoshk. Sorry, excuse me. Send it to facebook.com/official Paint with Josh. Official Paint with Josh, right? That's the one that you want to find. I've got about, I don't know, 1,400 followers now. We're growing fast, baby. Trying to get back up to that 735,000 that we lost, right? So, over here, over there, we got that bit. Maybe one more little touch. Did Scientific Muse buy this painting mods? Or do I have to figure it out myself? I would imagine if she said that comment that I'm guessing yes. I'm guessing yes. Let's see. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate that. She did. All right, guys. So you're going to have to help Cosmic... I just read Cosmic Lighthouse's comment that said she did. So you're going to have to help Scientific Muse come up with a name for this painting, guys. She purchased it. And now, let's see. You know what we could do? If we had just a little touch of our Indian yellow to our snow. See what happens. We could always cover it up, right? Just a little Indian yellow over this bit. Boom, 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 boom. Doesn't have to be all the same amount of brightness. And we're going to want to leave a bit of darkness behind our tree, right? So let's pick up on this side. Over here. Pull this guy out. Bam, pow. Shlam, bam. Pow. Just like that. You can literally leave it like that if you wanted to, but I'm going to come in with a little of our Paint with Josh plaque and a little of our blue. Just a little touch. Because the blue really helps secure in the shadow, right? Very cool, you guys and painting pals and all my friends. Dang, very cool. I like this one. I like it. Oh, that's the wrong color. That's the wrong color, but it's okay. We'll come back to our snowy bit. Dang, pop it right over the top. Here, there, everywhere. Just a little snowy thing across the lake. Our giant mountain over there. Fabulous. I'm going to change the angle real quick. Just Push a little bit harder, make a little smiley face. That's all. Filling our bit. A little bit of land back here. Very cool, you guys. You guys. I like this one. Now, come up with a name for it. You got to help Scientific Muse come up with a name for her painting because she's the one who got it, and she needs your help to decide what to call it. So, man, that's pretty. Let me come down here in our darkness, since we got the dark color out on the liner brush anyway, and we'll pop in the signature right down here. Remember, guys, you got to go over to glitterwicks.com. They partnered with March of Our Lives, and they're doing these wicked awesome candle packs. It's a 2-pack candle thing. Not all portions of the proceeds go to March of Our Lives, and it's a good cause. Get over there and support it. It's glitterwicks.com, and then search for the Thoughts and Prayers candles. I have them right here. Look, thoughts. Oh God, prayers. Oh, like literally put thoughts and prayers to good use. You know what I mean? Like everyone goes, oh, thoughts and prayers, sending prayers. This actually does something. When you buy something, portions of it go to a charity that helps, right? So, get over there, glitterwicks.com, glitterwicks, glitterwicks.com, and support a good cause, man. And a small business, right? Support a small business and a good cause. It's awesome. Okay, let's come over here. What are we going to name this one? Scientific Muse. The Muse of Science. I keep cleaning this brush and forgetting I need to add my birds. I add in the old birdie family. And Scientific Muse's requested fireflies. The firefliesies. Alright, do this. A little bit of paint off of there. Come into here and go, just crazy. Flying through the sky. Alright, got our signature down there. Now, if we're going to add in some fireflies over the water, I'm going to want to make them yellow. Right? So I'm going to go into my cad yellow with that liquid white that's on my brush. And then let's come in here and decide, right, what we're going to do. Maybe we'll have a little guy back here, right? And if we make them different sizes, they might look further away. We make them real big in the front, right? Just like that. That guy's going to look a little bit closer than those other guys floating off. Now, which one's a star? Which one's a firefly? Totally up to us, right? We need to decide what that is. Now, if we came over here and we tapped in maybe a real teeny tiny far away, a little bit bigger of a guy down here, maybe a smaller guy over there. They don't all have to be the same size. Some floaters out there. Floating in the night. What if we had one right back here, floating behind the tree? But that one's got to be the biggest one because he's the closest one, right? All very neat, my friends. Very cool. This guy up here. Boop. Over there. All it is just a little circle of yellow, right? Make our little guys very cool looking. Oh, one more little guy out there. Bang! Just like that. What do you think, Scientific? You like it? You like it? You hate it? Don't think I could really get rid of them now if you don't like them. Dance of the Airy Fairy Fae, she says. Is that the title? Yes, that's a good question. That stick is used to keep my hands steady of 100%, right? Because our paint is wet, the background is wet, the tree is wet, the mountain is wet, the paint on my brush is wet, right? The snow is wet, everything is wet. I can't just go and plop my hand down on the canvas like an illustrator or a acrylic painter would be able to. It would be all dry by now, and you can go in and do little details. If you can't do that with oil, you can get a maul stick, M-A-U-L, like Darth Maul, M-A-U-L, a maul stick, and they used to have them on easels, and they would slide back and forth like a library ladder in like a big fancy library. You could go slide it over and climb up, right? They'd have it, and you can move it over. Well, I don't have that kind of budget, so I got a yardstick from Home Depot for like $2, and you can see I've used it many times in the course of its thing. I can't even read the numbers. I don't even use it to measure anything. I just use it to rest my hand on. And then you can come up here and make little teeny tiny details while being nice and steady versus trying to like float and worry about our pressure back and forth and all. You know, everyone knows who paints. It's harder. So if you can find a way to rest your hand like that, That's going to make it a lot easier for you to do little fine details and stuff. Now, if you can just float your hand over the top of the canvas and just make it perfect, good on you. You don't need them all stick. But I find a lot of the times I do need it. And when I go do, like when I go to Tanisha's, I have to leave it here and I'll miss it when I go because I'll be like, oh, I need to do the birds. Where's my maul stick so I can come up? Don't have the dang thing. So, all right, guys. Well, Scientific Muse. What are we titling this one? Dance of the Airy Fairy Fae. I like it. Oh, over here, over there. Bing, bang, boom. Now, you guys can see I've modified this easel a little bit so the canvas floats above this thing. And the way that I did that was by shooting screws through the easel. You can see the little spiky bits at the bottom. And that way you can clamp on, come down. There's also screws through the top that are going down, right? Clamp into your painting, and then that way you don't even have to push it down really hard. That was my problem. I was always pulling it down so hard to get it in, and then over time the easel would start to shift because it got worn out, right? Now, it's nice and stuck in there on those screws, and I barely even tightened it, right? So, just a cool little tip for you. I learned it from Tanisha. Let's come over here. Shine this old bad boy. Over there, and over there. Number 1199. Dance of the Fairies. Dance of the Fairies over there on 3/4 of 2024. Of course, we're all going to go check out paintwithjosh.com because that's where you can find my brand new link to my Facebook page over there on paintwithjosh.com, or just go check out facebook.com/officialpaintwithjosh. So, all one word. I love you guys. And we got to get out the old spinny winny wheel for Scientific Muse. Man, this one came out so friggin' awesome. Like this brownish, mauve-ish color out in the sky into all the blues and greens with the yellows and the crimson-y colors. It's fantastic. Everybody. Man, that looks cool. So let's get out the old spinny winny wheel. And then you guys you just had an awesome show, haven't you? Haven't you just had the most fun that you've ever had during a Monday morning instead of being at work? You guys know, look, Hang with Josh. Admit it. Or sorry, it says, I admit it, I'm watching Josh while I'm at work. That's what the shirt says. I admit it, I'm watching Josh while I'm at work, especially on Monday mornings, especially, guys. Okay, let's come in here. What are we going to do with the spinny winny wheel? Scientific Muse. What are we going to do? Are we going to gift it to somebody? Are we going to keep it? What are we going to do, guys? So, Scientific Muse ended up purchasing this one and then requesting a few fireflies around the tree and over the water. Thank you, Regina Hoover Chilton. I love ya. Thank you, Josie. Majestic Galaxy, says Marcy Warren. Stephen Duffy says, stunning work. I appreciate it, my friend. Tanya Cutmore looks phenomenal. Danya Lease, absolutely love this one. Me too, don't ya? Oh, she's keeping it, she says. All right, here we go. What are we going to get on the old spinny winny wheel for Scientific Muse? Let's rock and roll. Over here, over there. Where's my drum roll? Oh, oh, what luck. Because literally last night, she was asking, literally, about getting a hat, which is so funny. That's so funny that, like, literally... And then the thing paused. So we were just talking about how it lands on the snapback hat and how Scientific Muse was asking for a hat last night. Like she was like, "Oh, I need to win a hat." So I hope you're happy with the hat. It turned out just right into your favor. So what color did you want? The banana bread hat. See, it all works out. I'm telling you. Now we have to work out another trade for the banana bread. That's so mean. That's so mean. I'm giving you what you wanted. I need the banana bread. All right, guys. So, awesome title. Awesome painting tutorial. if you ask me. I can't wait to see your guys' versions of this. So when you do the video and you go to post it on Facebook, make sure you tag at official paint with Josh, right? And it should pop up my page. It's only got like 1,400 followers now. We lost the other one. So if you could do me a solid, go over to my Facebook page and follow me again. That would be fantastic. I'd love you. I'd love you all. We still got 479,000 followers on TikTok and 620,000 over on Instagram, and then 116 excellent subscribers. 116,000 excellent subscribers over there on YouTube. So, if you ever wanted to see how to paint these paintings from maybe a different angle and watch the whole video over again, go over to youtube.com/paintwithjosh. You guys have been a fantastic audience. It's been a wonderful day. A good day to start a Monday anyway. And you got to slack off instead of working, right? We've all had fun. It's been fantastic. Now, I need to go ship out some of the paintings from last week. And that are now fully dry. I was going to ship them out yesterday, but post office was shut, so... yeah, all right, we're going to get out of here over on YouTube and on Facebook. I'm going to end both these streams, and then we'll hang out on TikTok for a minute. So, love you guys. Thank you all for watching the show. I can't wait to see your version. Send it into facebook.com/officialpaintwithjosh, because I can't wait to see it. So, I love you guys, and until I see you guys again next time, take care. Have the rest of a good day. And blah, blah, just everywhere.